An anime movie just beats Superman at the box office. Marvel's hitting the reset button. Ryan Gosling's going to space again. And yes, Spaceballs 2 is real. I'm Brody Hanson here with Charlie Hickman. Tudong Dylan's out this week. He's probably off stalking crime from the rooftops, but we're here covering all this and more on this month's Punch List News. So in our top story, Charlie, for the first time ever, an anime movie has outgrossed every superhero movie this year. So Demon Slayer Infinity Castle has passed Superman at the global box office with 617 million versus 615 million. So this marks the first time since 2011 that no Marvel film has made the global top 10. So Fantastic Four is currently at number 10, but with the rest of the stuff coming out like Avatar, it's going to drop out of the top 10.
We'll see. We'll see.
You know, anime's on the rise, you know, maybe paired with superhero fatigue, you know, is it kind of shaking up Hollywood? What are your thoughts on this, Charlie?
Well, look, first of all, I've been trying to get you and Dylan to talk about anime on the show for so long. I'm thrilled. Yes. I love anime. Literally right now, while we're recording this, my two oldest sons are at the movie theater watching this movie. So
are they really?
Yeah, we powered through the Demon Slayer TV. Like we caught up on the TV show. We slammed through it so that we caught up by the time the movie came out. It's great. It's good. It's really good.
I have never even heard of this before.
Oh, well, see, you don't watch any anime. This is why we got to talk about it on the show. We got to get you on board. It's great. There's a lot of really, really good anime. Sure. Like even just within the last 10 years, but even like the stuff that's currently going on, and it's never been more readily available to stream. You know, it's on Netflix, it's on Hulu, it's on Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime. You can find it used to be just like Crunchyroll and like, you know, a couple of like real niche streaming services that, you know, like it was hard. You know, kids couldn't get their parents to necessarily pay for it because the parents weren't watching anything on there. Now it's like everywhere and it's great. It's really it's something that I really enjoy watching with my kids. We have a lot of fun.
Do you think that anime is kind of on the rise and that is contributing to this anime beating out all these superhero movies?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think anime has always been awesome, but like it hasn't always been, you know, as easy to get your hands on. I think there's been stigmas at different points in our life with just animated content in general. Being for kids, and then anime gets kind of like, you know, get some weird side eyes of from people. Oh, you watch anime? Isn't that for kids? But like I think it's just nothing. It's swelling in popularity as just more people are finding it. You know, I've told you this. You know, my kids went from, you know, we start our first anime we watched together was Pokemon. You know, it was real harmless anime when they were kids, you know, and now now we've powered through a lot of different series, but you know, they started out with everything was dubbed, and now they won't watch any dubs. It's got to be the original audio with the subtitles, and you know, they got their own little like snobby preferences. Like, oh, the voice acting isn't as good, you know, and it's so fun, like the evolution of that. I think it's great. Like, and I think that especially for, you know, in this time where a lot of people watch TV distracted. You know, putting on an anime that's not in English and keeping your eyes fixed on the screen.
Oh, it's totally
visual
true.
Feasts. The animation's fantastic.
You have to pay attention. I think that's a lot of times why I have put the dub on, because then I can still listen and understand.
That's good. They're telling good stories. Everyone's always looking for like the secret formula for why things do well, and like you make a good movie. You know, that's like the baseline start. Now, it doesn't mean not all good movies do well at the box office, and sometimes, you know, Minecraft. Sometimes bad movies do really well, and that's okay too. Like, you know, my younger kids really loved the Minecraft movie. It's great.
And this Demon Slayer, this is like the third in a trilogy, right? So this is like a big deal in the Demon Slayer universe.
It is a big deal, and it's a great universe. You got to get on board, man.
Okay,
you got to watch.
So, there's like two parts to this story, right? So this anime is doing really well, but then the superhero Marvel is not going to be in the top 10 movies. Like, what do you think? Like, are people getting tired of superheroes, you think? Or is it just like, I think the quality of movies is still really good, but just, I don't know.
Yeah, I look, it's easy to kind of try to put like a few like buzzwords into things like, oh, it's, fatigue or this or that. And there's elements of truth to all that, but anytime there's like a global phenomenon,
Sure.
I always think like I think about the MCU like Pokemon Go, and it
Okay.
came out and it was like this global phenomenon, and you download the app and you're just like at a park. I remember I first downloaded it, and it's summertime and I'm at a park. It's 1 a.m. and there's like 200 people there with me at like 1 in the morning, and I'm like, these are my people. Like they're night owls. We're all wandering around catching these like little pocket monsters.
You came to my house and we're like wandering around my neighborhood.
It was a lot of fun, and it was like, and it just captured the imagination of like the nation. The closest we've ever come to world peace was that summer of Pokemon Go, and then people drop off inevitably.
Sure.
Like, it's only so long you can catch these virtual little Pokemon, and then everyone's like, oh, Pokemon Go's dying, and it's not dying. It's just everything that's a phenomenon or a craze settles into kind of a natural resting place.
Sure.
And like the MCU, like there was nothing like it, and when it came out with Iron Man and all these original movies, there was nothing like it. And so just there was this swell of, all these comic book fans' imaginations lighting up. And that eventually settles into kind of a more, now it's kind of people can pick and choose. Do I really want to go see this in the theater? Do I want to wait for Disney Plus? Like
they hit kind of the culmination of like 10 years of storytelling with Endgame. And where I think they should have then taken a break, go like 2 years or something, make people want this stuff. But like, it felt like a few months later, we're getting more. And the movies that then came after that were not like as high a quality, we're getting lower quality stuff. We're getting like the Eternals, and I think it did kind of taint the brand a little bit. And I think like really liked Thunderbolts. I think Thunderbolts was really good. I really, really liked it, but it didn't do well.
Well, and it came on the heels of like a bad Captain America movie. Like it seems like they're not just doing themselves a lot of favors half the time. It's like they're what if it had just been Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four this year? Would Thunderbolts have done better without a bad Captain America first? Sure. After a string of like, who knows? But I don't know. I do wonder like what like some alternate universe where they just stop at the end of the first kind of timeline and just let it be, and then start telling new stories after if things get a little bit better. We do get, I said earlier, fatigue's kind of a buzzword, but we do like people. They love Pedro Pascal, and then now he's in everything, and I don't like him anymore. He's in too much stuff, We went through this with Chris Pratt syndrome. Chris Pratt.
Oh, sure,
he's great. Oh, yeah. But he's in everything. I hate him. It's okay. Like it happens. All the Swifties out there. Taylor Swift dropping a new album. In a lot of ways, her music's kind of like the MCU. It's a global phenomenon, and some people really, really love it. Other people don't like it because it's oversaturated. And the truth lies somewhere in the middle. It's fine. It's good. It's fine.
Well, I'm curious to kind of see where the anime stuff goes. If we start getting more anime that's coming to theaters,
more.
What happens after this? With this success.
Oh, you're going to see more. It's gonna happen. It's beautiful.
But with the talk of MCU, so Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has confirmed that after Avengers: Secret War, so we have Doomsday and then we have Secret Wars, the MCU will reset into a single timeline. It's not a hard reboot, but it's expected to recast major heroes like Iron Man, Captain America, and the X-Men, giving the MCU a soft restart after years of multiverse chaos. Charlie, it's been chaos.
It's been chaos.
Translation, everybody's getting younger, cheaper, and probably British.
Yes. Righto.
So
that's well said.
So Marvel's rebooting. They're going to a single timeline. Everybody's getting older. We've been around for almost 20 years now. The MCU has been around, which is wild to think about. Do you think that Marvel needs a reboot, or should it just kind of continue on with other stories and other characters?
I think it either needs, a reboot, or it needs to continue on with other stories and other characters that have nothing to do with like some central connective tissue. Like really
so
focusing,
not do like a universe.
like Deadpool Wolverine was fantastic. It's a
Sure.
standalone movie. You don't need to have seen any other Marvel movies before or after. There's Easter eggs that you can appreciate if you've been along for the ride, but like it's just a fun, enjoyable film. And if
Sure.
they focused a little bit more on just good storytelling and a little less on making sure that everything connects in some grand plan, I think we could find a little bit more, enjoyment in some of these films. So that would be my vote. I like it. It gets exhausting. Like it's exhausting in the comic books, but at least in the comic books, like you can have like, a little preface or something at the beginning of like, you need to know these characters in this story, and you read that, and then you're like, okay, I'm all caught up. And I don't want that in a movie. I don't want to go to a movie and watch like a 5-minute like recap, or like Robert Downey Jr. walks out with like a cigar and he's like, here's what you need to know. If you didn't watch the Eternals, and you probably didn't, judging by the ratings, let me walk you through everything that went on. Like I don't want to say that. I just want good stories, good standalone stories. If we're going to switch to a single timeline, I mean, and that's fine. Look, this is you and I went through this with look, we both loved Spider-Man, and then Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies came out. The first one was amazing. The second one was like, oh my gosh, and then the third one was just a big letdown. And then
what was that? Yeah,
we didn't even have time to grieve, and all of a sudden, here's Andrew Garfield coming out, and then that didn't even do well enough to get a trilogy. And then, it's okay, well, now we're done with Spider-Man. And then, Tom Holland comes back and it's fantastic. So, I mean, like, it's not the idea of recasting Iron Man or Captain America. I mean, it's not like some unprecedented thing, and that's fine. Am I excited about it? Do I want to see like some 25-year-old Captain America? Not really. Iron Man at 18? I mean, I don't know. No.
Well, and then you just have this. To recast, you then add this level of baggage to the character. I mean, they've talked about like, oh, it's like a 007, right? You can just keep recasting 007.
Sure.
But how many people are like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, my favorite is still Sean Connery, who will be like the Robert Downey Jr., right? Like the original.
Pierce Brosnan, man. Come on.
Oh, those Pierce Brosnan movies are not good.
Dylan's not here tonight. We don't have to pretend to like Sean Connery.
I like Sean Connery.
You liked his website, you'rethemannow.com.
Oh, that's a deep cut right there. Is that still there?
Go on. I don't think it's on the. You have to go on like the Wayback Machine.
Oh man, go on the Wayback
Machine. Worth your time if you can go on the Wayback Machine.
Back to like 2002, 2001, something like that. You're the man now.
By the way, I'm teasing. I love me some Sean Connery. No one else could be called the Spaniard and have a Scottish accent.
But like I was saying, so like anytime you recast, there's going to be like this split of people who are like, oh, I really like this new guy. Oh, he's not as good as the old guy. And we get that with Batmans, right? We're still talking about Batmans, and we're still talking about Jokers, and like, oh, no one could ever compare to Jack Nicholson. Oh, well then, now no one will ever compare to Heath Ledger. And it almost like creates its own little mess within kind of the mess, And so I think it's good to try to make everything feel fresh again. And I'm all for that because I love comic book movies, but I'm also just kind of worried about what that will look like.
Yeah. Look, it's not my money. If they want to just keep bringing, the same cast back with these, exponential salaries growing, that's fine with me. Disney certainly can afford it.
Right.
But look, hey, I as we get older, we get to take on the role of the bitter old guy yelling at people to get off their lawn, staring out at the clouds, and you kids have no idea how good Robert Downey Jr. was as the original Iron Man.
Oh, right.
And that's fine. Like, who's your favorite Spider-Man out of Holland, Garfield, and Maguire?
Holland.
Me too, right?
I love Holland.
And he's the third of these live action. So, if you'd asked me that question after Tobey Maguire's run, like I wasn't excited about the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man because I was like, I don't want another Spider-Man. We just had a great Spider-Man. I don't want to see another one. So time and distance, you know, we'll be ready to be hurt again by a bad Iron Man. Like I don't want them to redo it and go like give me some unknown actors. I want actors I've never heard of. If we're going younger, like you suggested, young. If we're doing like a 20-something cast, don't give me like Timothy Chalamet or like some hot name.
Sure.
Give me. I want to be scrolling on like IMDb. Like, okay, who is this person?
Oh yeah.
Cast good actors, like really good actors, who can actually like deliver the dialogue in a believable and meaningful way. Don't give me like the teen hotness. Give me like the gravitas. Let's give some young actors a shot to really like build a brand around. Give me that.
Sure.
Did you like you liked X-Men First Class? That got off the rails quick though.
I loved X-Men First Class. It was
great.
It was really good. But then Matthew Vaughn didn't continue.
Yeah.
It went back into Bryan Singer's hands, and I mean, I also love Days of Future Past. I thought that was a great one, but right. Boy, it like tanked after that because then we get Apocalypse, and then we get Dark Phoenix. That was honestly one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Oh, it's really bad.
But yeah, I still love First Class. My kids love First Class. Like I think First Class is probably my kids' favorite X-Men movie.
So, and I guess so. My point is, it can work if it's good. And if it's not good, then it's easy to point at like, oh, we shouldn't have done this because there's only one Iron Man. It's easy. That'll be like an easy scapegoat. But like if it's a good script and it's well shot and it's well done and it's well directed and it's well acted, then we'll be like, oh wow, this is great. I'm so glad they did it. But it's, I just described a lot of things going right that haven't been going right in a lot of these Marvel movies. So we'll see.
Well, while Marvel's trying to figure out who's playing Iron Man, Henry Cavill's out here reminding everyone that there can be only one. So Henry Cavill is officially wielding a sword again. This time he's a part of the Highlander reboot, directed by John Wick's Chad Stahelski and co-starring Jeremy Irons, which I love me some Jeremy Irons. The new version aims to revive the cult 80s classic about immortal warriors. It's the latest in a string of nostalgic revivals led by Cavill, who's becoming the face of geeky old school reboots. Now, I love Henry Cavill, and I love Highlander too. So I'm very excited for this.
Wait, Highlander 2?
No, not Highlander 2. Highlander as well. I love the first one. Talk about a franchise that went off the rails.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on a new Highlander, Charlie? Did you ever think that was going to be something we would be talking about here? Was a new Highlander?
Yeah, I don't think there's any franchise that has had more than like anything that's got like one successful film and successful enough that there were other films that tried to follow up on that success.
And a TV
really,
show.
Quite frankly, anything that just has one successful film. At this point, there's nothing that could surprise me. I was on this podcast talking about a Harry Potter TV show years before they made one.
Years ago, you brought that up.
It's come and look, there's no sacred cows anymore. Everything's going to get redone. Get ready to learn the original Star Wars trilogy all over again at some point. It's going to happen. All these franchises, whether it's a soft reboot or like just in the same universe. You're a big fan of the new Aliens TV show, right?
I am.
Like,
Alien has been great.
And I think it's great. Like, there's a lot of different ways to go about it. I think if the universe that you've built is interesting enough to have interesting stories told within it, then I'm kind of into it. The first Highlander movie, look, it's really old, 86. This is a long time ago. And if you're telling me that's the last time that Highlander was good, which it sounds like that's your take,
I think so.
The TV show?
I mean, no, I didn't like anything that came afterwards. I have fond memories.
That 86 doesn't hold up quite as well as you might want it to.
No, I did watch Highlander, just a couple years ago, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's a little slow, but
it's a little slow.
I have so much nostalgia for it, watching it, as a little kid and watching them walk underwater, and like laughing because they can't die, and just the sword play, and there can be only one, like there's a lot that's a part of my nostalgia for it. But I'm thrilled for a reboot. I'm thrilled that it has Henry Cavill. I get, they took Henry Cavill Witcher away from me, where he was great with the sword. So now I'm getting Henry Cavill with the sword again in Highlander. He's going to be immortal. He's going to look great because he's Henry Cavill. I guess he hurt his ankle. I was looking at his Instagram the other day, and he's got a busted ankle while filming this.
I believe that's just called stalking, but yes.
No, he posted it on social media, which is public. It's not stalking. So
I'm sure he appreciated your DMs, wishing him well.
That along with Henry Cavill doing the Voltron movie, and Henry Cavill's, he's got all sorts of stuff. He's doing a Warhammer movie, I think. There's rumors of him being in the Mass Effect show. Who knows, man?
There was rumors started on this podcast that he's going to be playing Bizarro in the DCU.
Yeah, that could happen.
Who knows?
It could happen. I think that'd be great.
Look, I think this would be fun. I think you're like, Henry Cavill is a bona fide action star.
Yeah.
And we've seen him in The Witcher. He's great with the sword. This could be fun. I think that we should be open-minded. If it's bad, it's bad. It's not like tarnishing the legacy. That's already been done, right? There's already been enough bad sequels. Like, even if the first movie is like your beloved, I can't imagine that you were super psyched for everything that came after it. And if you were, I apologize. I'm not trying to tell you how to feel. But I think enough time has passed, and there's been enough like attempts to kind of make it good again. That why not? Let's take a literal sword swing at it and see if we can start a new cool franchise.
Yeah.
The idea that Hollywood's gonna be pumping out fresh scripts without any kind of like IP connection to like the past. I don't know, man. I've kind of given up. I've given up on the dream.
I will say I do want a Christopher Lambert cameo though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We get Clancy Brown out there. Go on now.
Yeah, right. Get them all. Bring them all.
He's still
in.
around. He gets the voice of Mr. Krabs.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
He's a great actor, by the way. If you don't know who Clancy Brown is, look him up, because if you've seen him in movies, you might find it hard to picture him as a SpongeBob voice actor. But
yeah,
Clancy Brown.
Well, from ancient swords to laser swords, it's time to talk about Star Wars, baby. So, Star Wars Starfighter is set 100 years after Rise of Skywalker and stars Ryan Gosling, Amy Adams, and Matt Smith. It's directed by Sean Levy, who did the Daredevil that we talked about, and Free Guy, and Project Adam, which I enjoyed. The film marks Lucasfilm's first major theatrical release since 2023, and its attempt to move beyond Skywalker lineage, building a fresh start for the galaxy far, far away. So, do we like the idea, Charlie, of a clean slate, or should we stick to the legacy stuff?
No. You look. I know you have to ask, because not everyone knows how I feel, but I am like so beyond ready to just get past the Skywalker stuff. And we were just talking about this with Highlander, and I believe this even more passionately about Star Wars. I just think it's such an interesting universe, like that has always been more interesting than some of the stories that have been chosen to be told. And I think new, fresh stories in different areas of the galaxy, different time periods, whether before or after, with no connection, we just talking about the connective tissue and how sometimes when you have to like really work to retcon things to fit together, how that can really disrupt good storytelling. Let's get rid of that. We don't have to be beholden to what came before. I don't know if 100 years is enough time, if I'm being honest, but that's it. Matt, if at some point someone pulls off their head and it's like Palpatine or something again, like I'm just,
oh my gosh,
I don't know. Like all of a sudden an old Ben Solo walks out there and he's like, more, you want more, or whatever. I'm just not. But Gosling, Mia Goth, Amy Adams, Matt Smith, yeah, Aaron Pierre, why not?
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by this. We've talked about, oh man, why are they sticking in this? It's a relatively small amount of time. We got less than 100 years of this Skywalker stuff.
Less than 100 years.
And so we've talked about like, oh my goodness, like Knights of the Old Republic. There's all this great background stuff. And they kind of touched on some of that stuff with Acolyte that didn't do too well. But I don't think we've really talked about going into the future a whole lot. So I'm very intrigued because it is very unknown. You know, it's called Starfighter. It makes me think of like Rogue Squadron and stuff like that. But that's kind of implying that there's a rebellion or, you know, whatever group there is, but it could be something completely different. I have no idea. So I'm really excited.
Different sounds delightful.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you what I don't want, bro. What I don't want is them to say this has no official relation whatsoever to the Luke Skywalker saga. In this story, we have a young rebel pilot who is battling against an intergalactic force that has a large spherical death city upon it that fires lasers, and don't give me yet another reboot of the same story. But no,
sure.
No, this one's 100 years later. Don't worry. And I don't want everyone to have the Force. Like I didn't like the idea at the end of The Last Jedi. Kids are picking up brooms all over there. The Force was inside of us all along. All we needed to do was believe. There was nothing special about Jedis after all. We're all Jedis.
Do you want Jedis at all?
I would be perfectly fine without it having real Jedis involved in it, because it gets dicey. But also, if you're going to call it a Star Wars thing and it has nothing to do with Skywalkers and there's no Jedis, at some point you're just making a sci-fi movie. And that's okay too. That's fine too. But like, if it's going to have some kind of loose connection to Star Wars, I think probably the way they're going to thread that is through the Force at some point, right?
Yeah.
If it's 100 years later, unless you just got like, you know, I don't know, droids. Maybe R2's still there, just hanging out.
Probably. R2's probably still there. Yeah. Well, of course, one Star Wars director might not have time to enjoy it because James Mangold is apparently collecting franchise deals like Infinity Stones. So James Mangold, who directed Logan and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, is juggling two giant projects. So he's got Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi, speaking of Star Wars, and DC's Swamp Thing. But both have reportedly been delayed as he's signed a new deal with Paramount, which includes developing, directing, and producing feature films for Paramount. This is a prime example of how major studios fight over top directors, often slowing down projects that fans are dying to see. Oh, James Mangold is now a Paramount guy, which means we may never get the Star Wars project and we may never get a Swamp Thing. Which would you rather see of those two?
Oh man, don't make me choose. I have more faith that a Swamp Thing would be good than I do that someone's going to tell a really good Star Wars story called Dawn of the Jedi. I have more faith in Swamp Thing, or at least I haven't seen like come on, you love Swamp Thing. Am I off base here?
No, actually agree with you, and it's one of those like I can't believe that I'm saying I would rather get a Swamp Thing movie than a Star Wars movie. Yeah, and maybe because we're also getting Starfighter, maybe because I've had a lot of Star Wars, the past couple of years, especially with all the TV shows. Swamp Thing, we haven't gotten any Swamp Thing since the 80s, and those were not great movies. I think there was an HBO TV show, Swamp Thing, that was not good as well. But if I would love to get a Swamp Thing, let's do it. And I think that James Mangold would actually be really good with a Swamp Thing movie.
Logan was really good.
It was really good.
Logan was really good. The Wolverine, though, not great. He directed that.
He did the Wolverine?
Yeah, he didn't do the middle, but he bookended it. And let's be honest. Can I be honest with you here? I did not like Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
You didn't? I liked that one.
No. I you know what? I think the de-aging and how long he is in that movie de-aged, and then to go straight to him like doddering around in like boxers and like a really old Indiana Jones, like Grandpa Indiana Jones. It was just why am I watching any of this? This is so weird. Like just just reboot the franchise if we're doing this. Like,
Sure.
we don't need 20 minutes of Harrison Ford computerized de-aging. Like, if that's necessary to the story. Anyway, I don't know. I'm sure
I liked it.
that there were
liked
more
the
reasons to
story.
like it than that. But
Yeah, I like the
you know,
story.
you're a sucker for all things Indiana Jones.
I
You love
really
the Crystal
am.
Skull.
No, don't put that on me. But
Can I say? He also directed Night and Day with Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz. Very good.
I have that on my watch
Super
list.
underrated.
You've told me that I should watch that, and I really want to.
It's a fun watch. It's it's not going to win any awards, but
Sure.
it was very fun. Walk the Line was good. You liked 3:10 to Yuma.
Yeah, I like westerns. Sure.
Oh, he did. I mean, he did that one. Girl Interrupted.
Okay.
Copland was actually pretty good.
Didn't see Girl Interrupted.
You know, people liked Ford versus Ferrari. I did not see that, but
I didn't see that.
He's got a pretty impressive run of films.
Well, and he's working on something right now with Timothée Chalamet as part of this new Paramount deal. So.
Is it going to be is it like Taylor Sheridan stuff? Are we going back and the? Is this going to be like Western mob stuff?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, I would have enjoyed his take on a Swamp Thing. I hope somebody else picks it up and runs with it. The first Swamp Thing I ever saw was The Return of the Swamp Thing with Heather Locklear. It was like 1989. It was a real bad movie.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Yep.
We should watch that. We should watch some of these, do a watch along with some of the old Swamp Things. Come on.
Well, speaking of directors who know how to rush, Mel Brooks is literally back from the dead. Maybe not literally, but after decades of teasing, Spaceballs 2 is actually happening. Filming is underway in Australia with Rick Moranis returning as Dark Helmet and Mel Brooks back to as producer. So not directing, but he is producing. The parody sequel promises to blend old school practical comedy with modern VFX. A big question is, can it capture the original Mel Brooks magic in today's meme culture? Now, okay, so a week ago, I would have said that I was a little bit nervous, but then I watched the new Naked Gun because it just came onto Paramount, and I thought it was so funny. And now I am so eager for a really good comedy. And so I'm really hopeful for this. But what are your thoughts on Spaceballs 2?
Mel Brooks is 99 years old.
He is so old.
That's crazy. This is like God bless him. He's like him and Betty White.
1926?
1926.
1926.
He was born in June 1926.
Oh my goodness.
I hope he gets to see this released in theaters. I hope he lives forever. I mean, he's
sure.
Mel Brooks is fantastic, but I imagine that while he'll have some really fun moments as Yogurt. Excuse me. Yogurt. I don't know how involved in the the directing and writing he is. So I think Josh Gad is one of the writers.
Okay.
So I don't think he's going to be trying to craft a modern comedy. He's just gonna he gets to kind of come in, do his lines, and continue to build on what is probably one of the greatest cinematic comedic legacies of all time. He's fantastic. This will be fun. I'm looking forward to being able to. This will be a great thing to watch with my kids. They're not as big. They didn't fall in love with Star Wars like the way that I did as a kid, and just too many good other options. They liked it, but there's so many other wonderful things to pull their attention from. And as Star Wars continued to release new content, it wasn't as good or competitive with some of the other things that were going out there. Whereas when we were kids, come on, nothing better than Star Wars.
Sure.
And now they got options. But I'm excited. This will be fun to watch with the kids. It's going to be weird to see Bill Pullman and Louis Pullman being little doppelgangers out there.
Right.
But man, Rick Moranis, I love Rick Moranis.
I know. I'm so glad that he's back. I wouldn't have wanted to see this without Rick Moranis.
No. But the cast looks good. You got Anthony Carrigan. You like him?
Do I?
You do.
Okay.
Cheese and Twisted Metal. He plays Calypso. Metamorpho in the Superman movie.
Uh-huh. Love Twisted Metal. Man, they just finished season 2. So
in
good.
Gotham. But he's a very good actor. He can very intense, very funny. Kiki Palmer, Josh Gad, Daphne Zuniga's back. So yeah, I look. It's gonna be dumb,
It will.
but like in a good way.
So
I
excited
hope.
for it.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna be
excited
good.
for it. So
Bring it on.
well, speaking of space travel, there's one franchise celebrating a milestone that makes us all feel just a little bit old. But before we get to that, we would love it if you subscribed and hit that notification bell. We're working on building this channel up, and we could really use your help. And also, we would love it if you checked out our Patreon at patreon.com/talktalkpunch. There we have exclusive episodes, top threes. We had one out that's top 3 movies that no one will watch with us. And then we're working on another one right now that is it's gonna be a really fun one. Really fun one.
Mm-hmm. Very.
But finally, Star Trek is turning 60 years old. And Paramount is celebrating with a wave of cross-media content. So we're getting Lego collaborations. We're getting new comic books. We're getting a kid-friendly YouTube series and events honoring the franchise's long legacy. So Strange New World is wrapping up in its series. And Star Trek is proving that consistency, not chaos, is how you survive 6 decades in space. Now, I would be remiss if we were talking about Star Trek and I didn't bring up our good friends Keeping Up with the Kardashians, who are going through Star Trek The Next Generation right now. So if you like Star Trek, go check them out. But how do you feel about Star Trek kind of opening up and getting kids stuff and Legos? Like, would you build a Star Trek Lego?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The problem is it's gonna like they could do like an original Enterprise Lego, and I would just be drooling over how. But then it would also be like $365 or something like that.
Probably more than that, but
I can't do it. I like this is you go through phases in life. When you're a kid, you look at the toy catalogs of all the things you want to buy, and then you get a little older, you have some disposable income, and then you're looking at things that you realistically can buy, and then you have kids. Now you're looking at stuff to buy the kids, and then you get to a certain age where now I just look at toys again, but I can't afford them because of the kids. So I'm like, look at that Lego. Oh man, my kids would destroy it. It would be terrible. But man, that'd be so cool.
I've got right here in my vision. I've got Hogwarts. I've got the X Mansion. I got the Daily Bugle, and I'm like,
you do a good job. Like, you do a good job buying the.
But that's a lot of money in Lego sitting right on top.
It's a lot of money in Legos
of my comic book bookshelf.
There's always money in the Legos. But man, I love it. One of the main thesis of Star Trek is the universality of it. Like it's for everyone. It's the bringing out the best of mankind and humanity. What happens when we lay down prejudice and work together to for common goals and all that stuff. I love the themes of Star Trek are always so powerful and poignant and universal. Yeah, being more like inclusive in the sense of like adding like opportunities for kids to like develop a fandom for something like it's great because like it's how else do you get in the door? Like my 6-year-old, how am I going to sit? Hey, let's sit down and let's watch some old episodes of The Next Generation Star Trek.
Let's watch Star Trek the motion picture.
Yeah, I mean, like there's nothing for him, and so like it's cool, like get some Legos, a Lego Star Trek video game, yeah. Heck yeah! Come on now.
Yeah.
That like those have been such great gateways, like for when we play like the Marvel DC various like incarnations or Lord of the Rings. We played through a bunch with the kids. It's fun, and the Jurassic Park ones were really fun. And it builds like their excitement for that, and it creates like. Hey, I'm gonna drink every time I say connective tissue, but this is good connective tissue between like generations. Like just things that like I loved. That now I get to share and engage with my kids. I think that's a great what a win, and then hopefully as they get a little bit older, then we can watch some of the movies together too. And
and with talk of the movies, I would love to see kind of a new movie franchise come out. They're doing a lot with shows right now. We've got Discoveries and Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks, and we got a lot of
Strange New Worlds is really good, by the way. I'm like way behind because I don't have Paramount right now. I go in and out on Paramount deals, so I'm like behind. But I really enjoyed the first season and the second season.
you know, and they just had like a straight to Paramount movie of like Sector 31 that I heard was just atrocious, so I didn't even bother.
Oh, really?
But you know, I would love to get more Star Trek movies. That was one. I was very into the Star Trek movies. I never really got into the shows, but I love the movies, and so
Great.
I would really love kind of a new series. You know, I enjoyed even the reboot, the Kelvinverse stuff. I enjoyed those. We only got 3 of them, but they're great. But let's get some more. I want some more Star Trek movies. So let's get on that.
Well, let me ask you this: would you be more in favor of Star Trek movies that so we have these waves of movies that all centered around Kirk, or like, you know, or the Next Generation movies? Would you be in favor of just taking the universe that Star Trek has created and just telling a complete new story?
Absolutely.
With like a random new cast in a movie?
Yeah, absolutely. I love Kirk. And
would people be ready
Spock.
for that?
I think so. I mean, okay, so like, what if they took one of these shows that are currently going? What if they took, you know, Strange New Worlds, and they're like, okay, Strange New Worlds, we're going to start building movies out.
Well, I mean, that would be great, but the Strange New Worlds is got that connective tissue with like Spock is on there, and
he is.
Yeah, it's like, and you know, Captain Kirk's dad and stuff.
I don't know. It's Star Trek. It's Star Trek. I think people would be open to new Star Trek stories. I don't think everything has to go back to Kirk. I don't. Yeah. I don't want a reboot of Next Generation. You know, like I was fine with a reboot. We got new Kirk and Spock and stuff like that, and that was all well and good.
That was great.
I don't need like a Kelvinverse Next Generation. Never thought of that, but I'm like, oh, maybe I actually wouldn't be too against a Kelvinverse Next Generation. But I don't.
Now that I say it out loud,
I don't know. Don't say it out loud.
You talked me into it.
But yeah, I just give me more Star Trek movies. How about that?
I mean, they do it with the shows all the time. They have like a totally new crew, and they create like some, you know, some new Star Trek show that comes out, and yeah, man, I love this new captain, and yeah, people fall in love with it. It'd be great to see that with the movies. That'd be fun. So
between anime dominance, Marvel resets, and Mel Brooks in hyperspace, it's been a wild month for geekdom here, and we are really enjoying just kind of looking at all the big top stories from this past month. This is something that we are kind of looking to do more of. It's kind of fun, and just it's fun to just talk about movie and TV news with friends. So
yeah. You're here.
Yeah. Charlie, you want to go ahead and take us out of this episode?
Yeah. Well, look, let us know what story got you the most excited. What are you looking forward to the most? If you have some thoughts, good or bad, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you, and we hope that you live long and prosper. And we'll see you next time at Talk Punch. Like and subscribe, and click on some of these other videos.
Yes.
You'll thank me later.
You will.